He's the horror hunter from Down Under. He will go in search every week of the best and worst in horror movies throughout the month of October. His mission? Don't come back until he's found some of the best and worst putrid piles of horror goodness you could ever imagine.
G'day, welcome back boys and girls. Horror Hunter from Down Under here, coming back at you with another zombie feature this week. This time, Dan O'Bannon's classic, Return of the Living Dead. Now if you're not familiar with director/writer Dan O'Bannon, he wrote or co-wrote the script for Ridley Scott's
Alien. What makes this horror feature we're talking about today any different? Well, for one thing, it's a horror comedy. I know I talk a lot about horror comedies, but I love them. But for another thing, it's the first ever talking zombie movie. And for that matter, it might also be the first ever running zombie movie. So what makes this film a classic? Why do I love it? Well, what makes this film a classic is, you ready for this? This is the first ever zombie movie where the zombies eat brains rather than human flesh. That's right. If you've ever seen a t-shirt or anything else throughout movie or television history where a zombie says brains, it came from this movie. Now, Return of the Living Dead is interesting for a couple of reasons. Now, one thing you may not know to look at the horror hunter is he's a punk rocker. Yeah, punk rock! Now, that said, this movie takes the punk rock aesthetic and then puts it against zombies. Where could you go wrong? How could you go wrong? You can't go wrong. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, while the sequels to this film may be very lackluster, this one is absolutely amazing. I personally like Return of the Living Dead Part 2, but more on that for another day. We're here to talk about the first one. Now, the effects and the makeup used in this film are absolutely amazing. Check out some of these awesome zombie designs. See what I mean? Now, on top of these excellent makeup effects, you've also got a stellar cast. Now, if you're familiar with Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, then you probably know exactly who Tom Matthews is. Also, in this film, you have Linnea Quigley from Night of the Demons, and of course, Lou Gallagher from many westerns, but most importantly, the dad from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Now, I love this cast. I hope you're enjoying this cast, because I love this cast. Now, moving on, let's talk a little bit about what the movie's actually about. A government canister full of radioactive waste and bodies is unleashed. When they burn the radioactive waste and bodies, what happens? It seeps into the ground, into the soil, and thus zombies. Now, I personally love the idea that this movie is taking on the military-industrial complex as presented in the Cold War era of the 1980s. So, have you ever seen Return of the Living Dead? what are some of your favorite parts about this movie? Personally, I actually love the punk rock aesthetic and the fact that there are so many flesh-eating, so many brain-eating zombies, too many to count. So, I've been the Horror Hunter. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Return of the Living Dead, and I'll see you next time.